like their news coverage.
The news you need.
It's engaging, informative.
The talk you love.
Really talk about the things that matter.
Keeping you informed. Keeping you up to date. News Talk.
This is News Talk 1040 Tampa Bay.
There it is, Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Failla. We got Kennedy coming. Jessica Charloff's going to be here. We got a lot of chicanery going on out in California where they caught the dirtbag who started the Pacific Palisades fires. Barry is in L.A. He's got a take. Barry!
So I actually heard this theory like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody's got to explain to me how the LA Fire Department is not completely liable for the Palisades fire. They put the fire out on January 1st.
And it rekindled?
Then we had this high wind event that everybody knew. I mean, we knew about it for like 5 or 6 days. We heard about it constantly.
Mm-hmm.
How in the hell does a competent fire department not like, oh, we have this hotspot, let's at least go water it down, or maybe we can have one person monitor it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but this is like, and how come everybody's not questioning that? This is incredible incompetence.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. I mean, that wind was so strong, it blew the mayor all the way to Ghana to a swim-up bar at a resort.
But again, but the wind didn't just come up. They knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
So how in the hell, again, at least not like have somebody go monitor, hey, when the wind starts, let's go check that hot spot from not even a week ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean it's certainly mismanagement once the fire started, for sure. But this guy, this dirtbag, obviously has to pay for what he did.
Well, I'm not, again, no problem.
Okay,
he should pay for it, but I'm sorry. Somebody, how are fire prevention people that stupid, that ignorant, that incompetent?
Well,
this fire was less than a week earlier. They knew there was this, if it's possible, and again, they knew it wasn't, the wind didn't just come up like that unexpectedly. They knew it was coming.
Well, let me ask you this. If the fire is the result of arson, as they're saying, at least the January 1st fire, is there any chance, any space in your brain for the possibility that there could be other arsonists that we might catch related to the rekindling, as we're currently calling it?
Possibly, but again, how right now they're basically saying that the fire it was a hot spot that rekindled because of the wind.
Mm-hmm.
This was not something that had happened 6 months earlier. This was something that happened 5 days or 6 days earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How would they not be like, hey, this wind's coming up, maybe we should go heavily water down the area again or something?
Yeah. Wouldn't be against it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, listen, I think there's a lot of blame to go around. I do. And I think, there was obviously the debate about. Go ahead. You tell
Kennedy she should be suing the LA Fire Department's ass and everybody in the Palisades, because again, it's complete incompetence. Complete incompetence.
I'm interested to hear what she says about this, because I think another angle of frustration is, there was this ongoing debate about resources and water and fire hydrants and water being diverted. And then even now in the aftermath, all the money they raised for the fires wound up going to a political action committee. And the fact that there's no permits to rebuild, it's like the chicanery is still going on. And I think one of the most dangerous things about right now in America is that we don't have any collective attention span. Meaning if you were to poll 10 different people, they would all tell you the most important thing in the world is something different. And that's a problem, because things like this are able to happen in real time. It's like, think about, we're living in America where this is not, I don't care. I'm not even blaming Joe Biden, but if 500,000 kids crossed the border and went missing under Biden, if we have 500,000 missing kids, like that should be the number one priority in America. And that's not even admissible in conversation anywhere. And so that's what's dangerous about right now. That's why that's why I like having you on just the same, Barry, is at least we're having these conversations.
Well, again, I'm sorry, but
listen.
There was a hot spot. There was a fire 6 days before. They knew this wind event was coming up. It was, again,
okay.
I'm sorry, but
I'll ask Kennedy.
How it's not complete incompetence on the fire department,
Listen,
I'm just baffled.
I will tell Kennedy the Barry News Network has legitimate concerns, and I do think they're legitimate, so don't think I'm mocking them. I'll bring it up with Kennedy when she gets here. Good stuff. Good luck with your Dodgers the rest of the way. There he goes, the great Barry.
America's First News with Gordon Deal and the Fox News Rundown.
You learn about so many different things. I'm in touch with everything that's going on.
There's actually intriguing talk.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9. News Talk 1040 Tampa Bay. News and talk you can depend on.
From everywhere USA, it's Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla.
Boom! There it is, and here we go. Big hour coming your way on Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla. Kennedy is going to be here at some point. She's trying to settle up her bar tab across the street at Langan's. We've also got a visit from Jessica Tarloff, who is coming on the show. Mikey thought that would be a good idea.
You don't have a clue.
We love Tarloff. We love the crosstalk. And, of course, we love talking to you. So 888-788-9910 if you want to be a part of this show that's about to get nuts. The actual shutdown in its 8th day. Nancy Pelosi went on CNN a few minutes ago.
CNN is the worst.
Well, let's be clear, okay? Nancy Pelosi isn't much better if we're going to get technical.
Nancy Pelosi is a total dingbat.
But whether you agree or not, you are all welcome on the show. The rules are the same every day. We say it to the point of actual exhaustion. We don't care how you vote. We don't care if you agree or disagree. I am not an activist. I am a good old-fashioned talk show host. So be a Republican, be a Democrat. Just don't be a boom. There it is. This show, of course, sponsored every day by the fine folks at Prevagen, which is for your brain. Now, is that a weird place to put a Prevagen plug? Yes.
I admire your honesty.
You got to get to it. And the reason I bring it up here just the same is I don't actually know the clinical results on this, but it is my belief if Prevagen is for your brain and helps your memory and kind of makes you a little bit sharper, then it would probably be something that's good for every single person who opposes what's going on in Chicago. I talked about this morning. We're carried on a lot of stations around the country, and I do call-ins to those stations. They have me on the morning shows. You know what I'm saying? So you might hear me on Scott Inez, WDBO in Orlando, or Christine and Rich, those day drunks on OKV and Jackson. You know, I call them all WHIO. They're great, you know, but on a day like today, I'll call into the local stations. We'll have a little chit chat. And we were talking about this today, how J.B. Pritzker and a lot of Democrats are like, no, it's a police state. Okay. And that's their justification, being like, no, leave it alone. Let it burn. Let these people die, because I myself think it's a police state and I am entitled to the aesthetic I enjoy, so you can continue to live in a gang state. And nobody is okay with that. They think you're an idiot. Okay, and that's why I call it out.
You got some big testicles to pull this off, bro.
Well, nobody has seen more sets of testicles than our next guest. If ever there was a segue. She's the host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast. It's 5 days a week. Which, by the way, I think the world, I don't know that the world wants to be saved. The fact that you have to do this 5 days a week.
Yeah, at this point, that's fine. We'll just keep going.
Look at the way the world was dressed, Your Honor. The world wanted it.
The world was asking for it.
The world was asking for it. But Kennedy's here.
You're going to call Dr. Testes. He's going to make you feel all right.
Kennedy's here to save the day nonetheless. Hey, girl. Hey, listen. the question on everybody's mind in America as we enter day 8 of the shutdown is, will the Yankees win tonight against Toronto?
That's all they want to know. You and I have discussed this. You brought up something very important. Toronto is out of pitching options.
Yes.
And we have this young phenom on the mound tonight. We both watched his debut.
Yep.
And I mean, I felt watching this kid's arm like, sure, he gives up a run now and again, but he is a very special pitcher. Very powerful, very focused, and he appears to be a big game player. Like you, Big Game James.
Big Game James. Cam Schlittler. Stud pitcher.
Yeah.
While the Blue Jays fans are a lot of catchers. Let's be honest. Hey, all right, I said it. Let's go. Let's get in the fight in the stands.
It's not your fault. You're Canadian.
I'm pumped up for the Yanks tonight.
You're going.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be in the Bronx with the Link Man.
Nice.
Little father-son time. That's what we do.
No, we were the section above you watching you and Lincoln heckle the players is like the highlight of my year. I've seen it at hockey, and it's like my favorite Jim and Lincoln story this year was you guys researching and getting tickets in the front row of the section where Juan Soto was in the outfield, just so you could yell at him relentlessly.
Proud moment for the Faillas. Proud moment. Because when Juan Soto came to the plate and the cameras...
My blood alcohol count is higher than your batting average.
Oh, poor Juan. We called ice on him. We tried everything. But the point
Tom Holman's like, I don't want him.
Because we're trying to bring, as are you, or at least keep the character in the Bronx. There's a lot of people that go to playoff games because it's like a social event.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a place to be seen. But I have to say, Game 3 of the Wild Card Series, I have not seen Yankee Stadium that electric. It was more electrified than the World Series game we went to.
It was great. It was amazing. And they didn't blow it in the 5th inning. They actually won a game. So yes, it was electric. New York is hungry. They're fired up. And Aaron Judge, the face of the franchise, actually had a moment last night.
Thank God.
Which takes so much pressure off him. He's hitting .500 in the playoffs and he saved the series last night. So I believe he's going to be...
Why can't Giancarlo...
I don't know what's happening.
Step up right now. Like, now is the time for that big ass. Like, he shows the world that big ass.
Yeah. You know what? AOC kind of stirred it up by talking about 4'10" guys who's trying to slant. Actually, Stanton needs one of those 4'10" ladies he gets seen with on Instagram because he likes the short ones for some reason.
That's right.
Stanton, we need to send some...
Keep away from Dana Perino.
We got to get DP up to the Bronx. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Might work. Just dangle her like a little fishing lure.
Where is TikTok Kate, and how quickly can we get Dana some seats in the moat at Yankee Stadium?
That's all we need.
That's going to swing the series.
Maybe something in the bleachers.
And she gets a whole, she likes to do Dana Talk Sports on Newsroom. Mm-hmm. Dana Perino could be, what do you mean we're fired? We were just getting going. I'm kidding. Kennedy's in studio. We're having a nice time. But the Yankees in the Toronto Blue Jays, hooray. And it's so much more interesting to me. Listen, you want to know why I don't care about the shutdown? Because they don't care. It's all theatrics. It's stupid. Like, I feel bad for people missing the check.
I flew to Los Angeles yesterday at 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. Plane took off just fine.
Yeah.
Landed in LA at 9 a.m., spent the day in the Palisades. It is a hellhole.
Yep.
Little bit more activity than I thought I would see, which brings me hope and optimism. There were several houses that were in the framing stage, and I think that's very good news. And then got on the 4:30 flight that afternoon and come back home. Plane took off. It was fine. There are air traffic controllers. There were pilots.
Oh.
So I thought that the shutdown might affect me for the first time. It didn't. So therefore I have D, and the shutdown isn't that big of a deal.
It ain't happening to me.
Yeah, exactly.
What do I care? I mean, that's basically how Mamdani's going to get elected. All the people registered to vote here who live in the Hamptons. Like, I don't care what he does to the city.
Exactly.
What do you mean? I don't care.
I don't go there.
That's what's going on. Well,
fly in on Uber Blade once a month.
So they did at least charge a guy for starting the wildfires. Barry called in earlier from LA, and he says, as reprehensible as the man's behavior is, he does think the authorities, and specifically the fire official, bear some of the weight of this, and he thinks you should be suing people.
Yes, I agree with that. So I was looking at this, wondering, because I had talked to an attorney who specializes in these wildfire class action suits. And in the beginning, I was like, yeah, I'd like to sign on with your firm. And he said, well, in the Altadena fire, it looks like it was a breakdown of municipal equipment, and that sets the stage for a class action suit. And he's like, here, it looks like arson, and you don't have the typical avenues, which I agree with that, but you still have to have the fire resources at the ready.
Yeah.
Just in case there's a wildfire that sparks, and this isn't a wildfire, believe me. I mean, this is friggin' arson, but during a once-in-a-generation windstorm. Like, we all know what dry conditions and high winds do in Southern California. And if you don't have water trucks, if you don't have fire trucks that are fixed, if you don't have a full reservoir, you had firefighters in tears because nothing was coming out of the hydrants. And it wasn't just the demand. Yeah. It's that the resources were not there. That is a failure of leadership. That's on the city. And that's where people can go and sue for some money, because I got to tell you, like, I was at my house yesterday, and it is such an immoral miscarriage of justice what these insurance companies are doing to all the homeowners. And I talked to, a bunch of my neighbors. A good friend of mine is a builder. His house burned to the ground. So he was out there with the crew. And I was like, have you gotten permits? He's like, no, I'm doing all of this on my own. I haven't gotten permits from the city because I don't care what Karen Bass says. They are not issuing permits.
Yeah.
And then you have the insurance companies who are just mowing over everyone in their path. They're not paying what you pay insurance for.
Yeah.
Whatever they promise you in your policy, they're not delivering that.
Yeah.
And you've got people who don't have a lot of money to begin with, who lost everything, their retirement, their kids, stuff from babyhood, family heirlooms. It's all gone, and the insurance companies are doing nothing about it. So that book, Deny, Delay, Defend, or whatever it's called. This is part of their protocol, and it's unacceptable. So California has this really restrictive insurance market because of the insurance commissioner. But where are they right now? Like, where are they putting pressure on insurance companies to pay out some of these families? Because you cannot get plans to build unless you are settled with your insurance company. That's not how it works. So that's why, most people aren't building. But I did see some framing going on, which makes me think that, I talked to one of my neighbors, and she said, people are building, they are coming back come hell or high water. They're pissed, and they're going to rebuild their lives in the community that they had. And a lot of people are like, screw it. I don't have the time and energy. I'm going to sell for pennies on the dollar. And, some of these.
That is what upsets me the most is the Pacific Palisades had a lot of middle-class people in there because they did survive middle-class parents who moved out there when it wasn't a gazillion-dollar neighborhood. And that's what made it such a unique and magical suburb. That's why we were there playing music till the cops came on the 4th of July every year. Literally till the cops came.
And then we gave them a natty light. They high-fived us and left.
But it ultimately will displace so much of the character of what was actually there. And then it'll either be affordable housing and zillionaires, a yin and a yang, or whatever the hell they think they're going to do there. But it's all a scam. And I do believe the delaying is being done because of something you said earlier, so I want your take on this. Because a lot of the people who, survived parents or grandparents and lived there don't necessarily have the resources to go pay for this other place they're now living while they wait to rebuild, it becomes a lot easier for someone to shortchange them and buy the lot.
Yeah. And insurance companies to go, we'll give you, like, we had promised you in your policy $600,000. We're going to give you $200,000 for your house that burned to the ground. And also, we're not paying, even though it says in your policy that we have to pay the rent on a comparable place for 18 months. It's been 9 months. So we're going to go ahead and stop paying. And they know that people are desperate. They don't have a place to live close to where their kids want to go to school. Most of the schools in the Palisades burn to the ground. The high school is half there. I saw some crews working on it yesterday, and they're, it's like Pali High is now existing in the old sort of rundown abandoned Sears building in downtown Santa Monica, which is kind of cool, but it's not set up to be a high school. No. Doesn't have great ventilation. No. And so I know families who were there and they've gone to other places, and the community has just scattered. And it's because insurance companies know what the press isn't reporting, that there are a lot more people who are middle class there than, and people love to go, oh, well, it's just a bunch of rich people. Who cares if their stuff burns to the ground? And I was talking to the private adjuster that we're working with, and he said, it's not how much someone has. The point to that is they're still people.
Yeah.
Like, these are still people. These are still families.
Yeah.
No one deserves to lose everything in their life.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to have a little more of this conversation when we come back. If anyone wants to join Kennedy's militia, we'll give you the details next.
We will, and the firearms.
Critics are calling it the show of the year.
Personally, I think we got hosed on that call.
You're listening to Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla.
You're listening to Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla. Catch the latest headlines on your way to work, morning 6 to 9. News, information, and talk. News Talk 1040, WHBO.
Hey. Bang! There it is. Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla. Kennedy is in studio. Kind of down in the dumps about what's going on with the mismanagement of the state of California, but the good news is Katie Porter is on her way to save the day.
Oh, my God.
Do you think Katie Porter was the white woman who stole the ball from the little kid at the baseball game?
No, that if that woman had been eaten by another woman, that would be Katie Porter. Yeah.
So there is there's a lot of famous reporting on her. Obviously, her husband, she was charged with burning French fry oil on his head in a domestic
mashed potatoes.
Whatever it was, but the burning stuff on his head and scalding his head.
It's like scalding mashed potatoes. That's no joke.
That's
like
nothing.
You can send someone to the ICU.
65% staff turnover rate in the past year because she's apparently
slightly lower than Kamala,
but a monster nonetheless.
Yes.
And you could see the way she's talking to that reporter is, they don't say what is someone's record in boxing. They say, who did they fight? She's fought no one, meaning she's never been asked a question.
Yes.
Because they feel like the media is just there to launder their talking
That's
points.
the problem with California.
Yep.
It's like, oh, we're a Democrat monoparty state with a Democrat monoparty press. They're never really going to challenge us. Like, do you think Adam Schiff has ever been challenged? It's like the one time Kamala Harris gets challenged in the primary process in 2020 and she dissolves like sugar in a rainstorm.
It's so funny, by the way. Do you remember when Kamala was like, she became black? Trump said Kamala was like, and all that because she was originally our first Indian senator. Like, that is actually a thing. We had McBee on the show. McBee was playing a game called White Noise, Charles McBee, where the panel had to guess.
He is so funny. He's a great comic.
He's great on Instagram too. He's fantastic. Follow Charles McBee. So he was we had to quiz the panelists, like our mutual great pal Guy Benson and Katie Pavlich was on, Carly was on, and it was like, does this story we covered all week on Fox matter in the black community, or is it white noise? And one of the things me and McBee got into in the aftermath of talking about this is everyone now refers to Kamala in the hood as the fake black lady. That's stuck. Real or not, the point is it's stuck. And it's, people, I think.
So disingenuous.
Yes. But what the Democrats and Katie Porter is part of this got so entitled to not only favorable coverage and softball questions, but the ability to browbeat a reporter into asking the kind of question they want. And the reason it's so off-putting is that excerpt we saw is what these things look like behind the scenes. And who told us that? Brett Baer. Brett Baer said that when Kamala did that famous interview and she tried to ice him by showing up with 20 minutes late, he's like, oh, Madam Secretary, nice to meet you. And she goes, let's do this.
Yeah, she wouldn't even exchange
pleasantries.
Basic pleasantries.
No, nothing.
Like,
nothing.
How's your day? Let's do this.
That's what she used to say to Willie Brown back in the day. Listen, Willie, I know you got a meeting to get to. Let's do this.
If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's Willie Brown, flush it down.
We're talking to Kennedy. She saves the world every night.
Every damn day.
It's just, she'll be on Gutfeld tonight. You watch her on, she'll save that.
Be on the 5.
She'll be on the 5.
Screw it.
She's going to
do it all. Do it live.
The sun never sets. So I say in closing, we have a minute to go. There's this stupid thing going on in the world right now where I think the right is becoming a cancel crowd. I got in trouble with some of my listeners for this, but I think it needs to be said. If you don't like certain things, just don't watch them. We don't have to become the other thing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let Bad Bunny hop away.
You don't like Bad Bunny? Like I said, go smoke a cigar.
Yeah, go hang out.
Go change into a white and gold jumpsuit.
Go do what I'm going to be doing at halftime, which is turning tricks to pay for the gambling losses. You don't have to do this, guys. You can just not like it. I don't want us to become the thing we were mad about.
He only needs 15 minutes, folks. It's very impressive.
You give us 15, we'll give you the world. Isn't that what they say on like 10-10 wins?
Yeah.
Good stuff. The K-Train, check her out on the 5, Gutfeld, and watch her save the world on her podcast every day.
Woo!
Jessica Tarloff coming up next. Don't all change the station at once.
You are the best thing on the radio.